Today, we're exploring 10 of the world's safest countries, each hiding legends so terrifying they've survived centuries of rational thinking and modern skepticism. From phantom ships sailing frozen seas to castles where the dead refuse to stay buried, these stories prove that sometimes the most civilized places hold the darkest secrets. Imagine this. You're walking through a country where violent crime is virtually non-existent. Healthcare is world-class, and corruption is so rare it makes headlines when it happens. But as twilight falls, the locals warn you about the ancient castle on the hill where shadows move without bodies casting them. Welcome to the strange world where the safest countries on Earth harbor the most spine-chilling legends. These aren't your typical horror movie destinations. We're talking about nations that consistently rank at the top of global safety indices, places where you could leave your wallet on a park bench and find it waiting for you the next morning, yet scratch beneath their peaceful surfaces and you'll discover tales that would make Stephen King reach for a nightlight. So, grab something warm to drink, maybe check that your doors are locked, and let's dive into the beautiful contradiction of safety and supernatural terror. Our first stop takes us to a country so safe that police officers rarely carry firearms, yet its folklore speaks of creatures that make firearms utterly useless. Iceland consistently ranks as one of the world's most peaceful nations, sitting comfortably at number 3 on the Global Peace Index. With a murder rate of just 0.3 per 100,000 people, you're statistically more likely to be struck by lightning twice than become a victim of violent crime here. The country boasts universal healthcare, excellent education, and a social safety net so strong that homelessness is practically non-existent. But step into the Icelandic countryside after dark, and you enter the realm of the huldufolk. These hidden people, indistinguishable from humans except for their otherworldly beauty and tendency to vanish into thin air, are said to inhabit the country's dramatic landscape. Construction projects regularly halt when workers refuse to disturb rocks believed to house these supernatural beings. In fact, the Icelandic Road Administration officially acknowledges the huldufolk in their environmental impact assessments. The most chilling tales speak of travelers who follow beautiful strangers into the wilderness, only to find themselves lost in landscapes that shouldn't exist, where time moves differently, and the northern lights dance to music only the dead can hear. Some say the huldufolk are benevolent guardians. Others whisper they collect human souls like rare gemstones. Living in Iceland means enjoying one of the world's highest standards of living while sharing your homeland with beings that predate Christianity itself. It's a reminder that even in our connected world, some mysteries refuse to be solved. Speaking of mysteries, our next destination harbors secrets in its pristine forests that have stumped investigators for generations. Finland ranks 4th globally for safety, with crime rates so low that many rural areas don't even have police stations. The education system is world-renowned, social trust is sky-high, and the concept of sisu, meaning stoic determination, ensures communities pull together during tough times. Healthcare is universal, and the government is consistently rated among the world's least corrupt. Yet venture into Finland's vast wilderness, and you might encounter the metsenpeitto, a supernatural phenomenon where the forest itself becomes your captor. Experienced hunters and hikers suddenly find themselves disoriented in familiar terrain, walking in circles for hours or even days in areas they've known their entire lives. Compasses spin wildly, GPS devices malfunction, and the forest seems to rearrange itself like a living maze. The most terrifying accounts describe people hearing their names called from empty clearings, following voices of loved ones deeper into woods that grow stranger with each step. Trees appear to move when you're not looking directly at them, and paths that led into the forest somehow never lead back out. Some victims are found days later, miles from where they disappeared, with no memory of their ordeal and an inexplicable fear of returning to the wilderness. Finnish folklore explains these incidents as encounters with forest spirits who test human worthiness. Those found lacking are condemned to wander between worlds, neither fully alive nor completely dead. Even in a country where you can safely walk alone at night in major cities, the ancient forests remind everyone that safety is a human concept that doesn't always apply. But forests aren't the only places where modern safety meets ancient terror. Our third stop proves that even the most organized societies can't organize away their ghosts. Switzerland claims the second spot on the Global Peace Index, with crime rates that make other nations envious. The country's political neutrality, economic stability, and social cohesion create an environment where personal safety is almost guaranteed. Healthcare is exceptional, infrastructure is flawless, and the banking system is so secure that the phrase "Swiss bank account" became synonymous with safety. However, beneath this veneer of precision and order lurk stories that would make a banker's ledger run red with blood. The most infamous tale centers on Chillon Castle, a medieval fortress that appears to float on Lake Geneva like something from a fairy tale. But fairy tales rarely feature the prisoner of Chillon, a ghostly figure said to be François Bonivard, chained in the dungeon for 6 years during the 16th century. Visitors report seeing a tall, gaunt figure in period clothing wandering the castle's corridors, always just at the edge of vision. The phantom carries the sound of dragging chains, and security cameras have captured unexplained cold spots moving through the building. The most unsettling encounters involve the ghost's apparent awareness of modern visitors, with witnesses describing feeling watched by ancient, intelligent eyes that hold centuries of accumulated pain and rage. What makes this particularly chilling is the contrast. You can walk to Chillon Castle through neighborhoods where people leave their doors unlocked and children play unsupervised in parks. The castle itself is meticulously maintained with professional guides and modern safety equipment. Yet none of this matters to a presence that predates Swiss efficiency by centuries and operates according to rules that can't be found in any safety manual. Even in a country famous for making everything run on time, some things refuse to follow schedules. And just wait until you hear about the legend from our fourth country, where politeness and prosperity can't hide a maritime mystery that still sends chills through seasoned sailors. Norway consistently ranks among the world's safest nations, holding the top spot on various peace indices. Violent crime is remarkably rare. The social safety net ensures nobody falls through the cracks, and the country's oil wealth has created one of the most prosperous societies in human history. Trust in government and fellow citizens is so high that many transactions still operate on the honor system. But Norwegian waters tell a different story entirely. The Draugen, a supernatural entity described as the ghost of a drowned sailor, haunts the country's treacherous coastline. Unlike typical ghost stories, the Draugen actively hunts the living, appearing as a headless fisherman rowing a half-boat through storms that shouldn't exist. The creature is said to call out the names of living sailors, and those who respond are doomed to join the eternal crew of the damned. Modern maritime technology offers no protection against something that exists between the physical and spiritual worlds. Even GPS and radio equipment fail when the Draugen draws near, leaving experienced captains navigating by instincts that scream at them to turn back. The most terrifying aspect of these encounters is their apparent randomness. The Draugen doesn't target the careless or unprepared. Some of Norway's most experienced mariners have vanished in perfect weather conditions, leaving behind only empty boats and life preservers that show no signs of struggle. Maritime authorities have no explanations for these disappearances, filed away in folders marked with clinical language that can't capture the supernatural dread these incidents inspire. Living in Norway means enjoying one of the world's highest qualities of life, while knowing that just beyond the fjords lurks something that treats human safety as a suggestion rather than a guarantee. Which of these legends would you dare to explore? Comment below with your choice, but choose carefully. Some curiosities are better left unsatisfied. Our fifth destination combines architectural precision with supernatural chaos that defies every engineering principle. Germany ranks 6th on the Global Peace Index, with crime rates that continue to decline year over year. The country's robust economy, excellent healthcare system, and strong social institutions create an environment where personal safety is largely taken for granted. Public transportation runs with clockwork precision, and the legal system provides consistent protection for residents and visitors alike. Yet in the Bavarian countryside stands Hohenschwangau Castle, where King Ludwig II spent his childhood absorbing the Gothic tales that would later inspire his infamous architectural projects. The castle is now home to the White Lady, a ghostly figure in flowing robes who appears to warn of impending doom. Her appearances have preceded every major disaster in the region for over 2 centuries, from devastating floods to the economic collapse that followed both world wars. The White Lady doesn't simply appear and vanish like typical ghosts. Witnesses describe her as interactive, attempting to communicate urgent messages through gestures and expressions that become more frantic as catastrophe approaches. Security footage from the castle shows unexplained figures in the courtyard during the hours before natural disasters, always in the same flowing white garments that billow in winds that don't register on weather instruments. What makes this particularly unsettling is the precision of the predictions. The White Lady appeared 3 nights before the 2021 flooding that devastated parts of Germany, pacing the castle walls with obvious agitation. Local authorities have learned to take these sightings seriously, though they can't officially acknowledge supernatural early warning systems in their disaster preparedness plans. Germany's commitment to rational thinking and scientific progress can't explain away a phenomenon that operates outside the boundaries of physics, serving as a reminder that even the most logical societies harbor mysteries that resist logical explanation. But architectural hauntings aren't limited to castles. Our 6th stop proves that even the most welcoming cultures can't make their unwelcome guests leave. Ireland consistently ranks among the world's safest countries, with violent crime rates that would be considered miraculous in most nations. The social fabric is strengthened by traditions of community support and hospitality that make strangers feel welcome within hours of arrival. Healthcare is accessible, education is prioritized, and the legal system provides reliable protection for everyone within its borders. However, Irish hospitality doesn't extend to the banshee, a supernatural herald of death whose wailing cry announces the impending doom of ancient Irish families. Unlike other cultural supernatural beliefs, banshee encounters are documented with unusual consistency, often by multiple independent witnesses who had no prior knowledge of the legend. The banshee appears as a woman in grey or white, sometimes young and beautiful, sometimes ancient and terrifying, but always connected to specific bloodlines that trace back centuries. Her cry is described as unlike any sound in the natural world, a keening wail that bypasses the ears and strikes directly at the soul. Those who hear it report an immediate certainty that someone they love will die within days. Modern Irish families with traditional surnames still report banshee encounters, even in urban areas where ancient folklore should hold no power. The phenomenon doesn't discriminate between believers and skeptics. Documented cases include engineers, doctors, and other professionals who initially dismissed the experiences as stress or imagination, only to face the tragic reality when the banshee's prediction came true. Living in Ireland means enjoying a culture famous for its warmth and welcome, while sharing ancestry with something that views death as a family obligation that transcends generations. Even in a country where strangers become friends over a pint, some family connections are too ancient and terrible to break. Speaking of unbreakable connections, our 7th destination shows how modern prosperity can't sever ties to primordial forces that shaped human consciousness before civilization began. Denmark holds the top position on numerous global safety rankings, with crime rates so low that many Copenhagen residents don't bother locking their bicycles. The social democracy model has created a society where economic inequality is minimal, healthcare is universal, and social trust is so high that honesty shops operate without supervision. The concept of hygge embodies a cultural commitment to comfort and contentment that makes Denmark consistently rank as one of the world's happiest countries. But Danish comfort doesn't extend to encounters with the Draugen, a different supernatural entity from Norway's maritime ghost, but equally terrifying in its own right. The Danish Draugen inhabits the country's pristine lakes and rivers, appearing as a pale figure just beneath the water's surface, always slightly out of focus, always watching. The creature is said to collect the souls of those who drown, but unlike typical water spirits, the Danish Draugen actively hunts swimmers and boaters, creating supernatural undertows that drag victims down into depths that shouldn't exist in shallow waters. Rescue divers report finding bodies in impossible locations, sometimes in underwater caves that aren't marked on any geological survey. The most disturbing aspect of these encounters is their apparent intelligence. The Draugen seems to understand modern technology, disabling boat engines at crucial moments and interfering with rescue equipment in ways that suggest deliberate sabotage rather than supernatural coincidence. Even experienced marine biologists admit they can't explain the unusual behavior of fish and aquatic plants in areas where Draugen encounters are reported. Denmark's commitment to rational social policy and scientific education can't prepare citizens for something that operates according to rules that predate human civilization, reminding everyone that even the happiest societies share their world with forces that don't care about human contentment. Our 8th destination proves that even countries famous for precision and order can't organize their way out of ancestral nightmares. Austria consistently ranks in the top 10 for global safety, with violent crime rates that make headlines when they occur because of their rarity rather than their frequency. The country's economic stability, excellent healthcare system, and strong social institutions create an environment where personal safety is rarely questioned. Cultural traditions emphasize community cooperation and mutual respect, strengthening the social bonds that keep crime rates low. Yet in the Austrian Alps lurk the Krampus legends, tales of demonic creatures that hunt during the darkest months of winter. While many dismiss these as quaint folklore connected to Christmas celebrations, mountain communities still report encounters that can't be explained by holiday traditions or tourist attractions. The Krampus is described as a horned, fur-covered creature that walks upright like a man but possesses strength and speed that surpass human capabilities. Unlike folklore creatures that remain safely in stories, the Krampus leaves physical evidence of its presence. Massive clawed footprints in snow, trees stripped of bark by inhuman hands, and livestock found with injuries that don't match any known predator. Modern Austria's approach to these reports combines scientific skepticism with practical caution. While authorities don't officially acknowledge supernatural explanations, mountain rescue teams adjust their protocols during peak Krampus season, and local tourism boards carefully balance promoting alpine folklore with ensuring visitor safety. The most unsettling aspect of Austrian Krampus encounters is their apparent connection to human behavior. Witnesses consistently report that the creatures seem to judge human actions, focusing attention on individuals who have violated community standards or social obligations. This creates a supernatural enforcement system that operates alongside official law enforcement, reminding everyone that some forms of justice predate legal codes by millennia. Austria's success in creating a safe, orderly society can't eliminate the darker aspects of human nature that the Krampus legends represent, serving as a reminder that civilization is a thin veneer over much older and more dangerous realities. Before we reveal our final 2 destinations, take a moment to consider which of these legends resonates most strongly with you. Are you drawn to Iceland's hidden people? Or does Ireland's banshee call to something deeper in your ancestry? Let us know in the comments, and remember that some questions are better left unasked. Our 9th destination combines cutting-edge technology with supernatural phenomena that make even the most advanced security systems useless. Singapore ranks as one of the world's safest countries, with crime rates so low that the biggest safety concern for most residents is jaywalking fines. The city-state's combination of efficient governance, economic prosperity, and cultural diversity has created a society where personal safety is almost guaranteed. Advanced surveillance systems monitor public spaces, healthcare is world-class, and social stability is maintained through policies that address problems before they become crises. But Singapore's technological sophistication can't monitor or control the pontianaks, vampiric spirits that haunt the spaces between the city's gleaming skyscrapers. These creatures appear as beautiful women who lure victims into isolated areas before revealing their true nature as bloodthirsty predators with gaping holes where their backs should be. The pontianaks are said to be the vengeful spirits of women who died in childbirth, and they target pregnant women and new mothers with particular viciousness. Modern Singapore's excellent maternal healthcare has dramatically reduced childbirth mortality, but the pontianaks continue to haunt the city's green spaces and older neighborhoods, adapting to urban environments with disturbing efficiency. Security cameras occasionally capture unexplained figures in areas where pontianak encounters are reported. but the footage always shows distortions and interference that make positive identification impossible. Even Singapore's advanced medical facilities struggle to explain certain injuries and deaths that match traditional pontianak attack patterns, creating gaps in official records that supernatural believers point to as evidence. Living in Singapore means enjoying one of the world's most technologically advanced societies, while sharing urban spaces with predators that view human progress as irrelevant to their ancient hunger. Even in a city where artificial intelligence monitors traffic flows and predictive algorithms prevent crime, some dangers operate outside the boundaries of digital surveillance. Our final destination brings us full circle to a country where social harmony masks discord that runs soul deep. Japan consistently ranks among the world's safest nations, with crime rates that amaze international observers and social cohesion that creates environments where lost items are routinely returned to their owners. The country's emphasis on collective responsibility and mutual respect has created a society where personal safety is rarely questioned. Healthcare is universal, natural disaster preparedness is exemplary, and technological innovation continues to improve quality of life for everyone. Yet Japan's commitment to social harmony can't silence the onryo, vengeful spirits of those who died in states of intense emotional turmoil. These supernatural entities are said to possess the power to kill through sheer force of accumulated rage and grief, turning human emotions into weapons that can strike across vast distances and through any physical barrier. The most famous onryo legends center on women who were betrayed or murdered by those they trusted, but modern encounters suggest that any death involving intense injustice or emotional trauma can create these entities. Unlike other supernatural creatures that operate according to territorial or seasonal patterns, onryo appear to be triggered by psychological states and social dynamics that mirror the circumstances of their creation. Japanese urban legends describe onryo manifestations in the country's spotless cities and efficient transportation systems, suggesting that social progress and technological advancement can't eliminate the spiritual consequences of human cruelty and betrayal. Even in a society that prioritizes collective welfare over individual desires, some individual grievances are too powerful to be contained by social expectations. Modern Japan's success in creating a peaceful, prosperous society coexists with acknowledgement that certain forms of spiritual justice operate outside human legal systems, serving as a reminder that social harmony built on suppressed conflict may be more fragile than it appears. So there you have it, 10 of the world's safest countries, each harboring legends that remind us that safety is a human concept that doesn't always translate to the supernatural realm. From Iceland's hidden people to Japan's vengeful spirits, these stories persist in societies that have mastered the art of protecting their citizens from human threats, but remain vulnerable to dangers that predate civilization itself. What makes these legends particularly fascinating is their persistence in the face of modernity. These aren't primitive superstitions that fade with education and technology. They're adaptive phenomena that continue to manifest in developed societies, suggesting that some aspects of human experience transcend our attempts to create safe, rational environments. Maybe that's the real lesson here. Perhaps the safest countries harbor the scariest legends because safety itself is a recent invention, a thin layer of civilization built over much older and stranger foundations. Or maybe it's because when human threats are eliminated, we become more sensitive to the supernatural dangers that were always lurking in the shadows. Either way, these stories remind us that even in our connected, monitored, and secured world, mystery and wonder still exist in the spaces between streetlights, in the forests beyond suburbia, and in the waters that reflect stars we can't explain. The next time you're planning a move to one of these incredibly safe destinations, remember that you'll be trading one set of concerns for another. Sure, you won't need to worry about crime statistics or healthcare access, but you might want to brush up on your folklore before you unpack. Sweet dreams, and remember to check those locks. Even in the safest places on Earth, some things don't respect human security measures.